everyone. Paul the Nitro Corner, and welcome once again to another edition of the King's Court. Now, you're going to have to bear with me. I'm just now getting over my bout with the allergies this past week. And that's because, and that is the reason why we missed last week's show. I want to apologize for that. I've got a nice loaded lineup for you this week to help you all, to get you up to speed as to what's going on in my world of professional wrestling. So without any further ado, let's begin. I'm going to begin with the topics that I was supposed to cover last week right now. So here we go. I want to start talking about first Jerry the King Lawler. The King, of course, suffered a heart attack 2 weeks ago in Montreal, Canada, on Monday Night Raw. This was legit. This was real. This is not part of the storyline. First thought I had was, oh my God, this is really serious, and I'm not going to get into too many details as to what I really thought about that, but it was a pretty scary moment, folks. This was no ordinary day for any wrestling fan, to say the very least. Jerry the King Lawler is certainly a true legend of the sport, a very nice guy, both in and out of the ring, and I can remember Jerry Lawler at the 1CW Hearts and Headlocks 2 show. I got 2 of his autographs. I even shook the man's hand. What a class act he is both in and out of the ring. And I was happy to hear that Jerry the King Lawler will be fine and will actually be doing his first interview. His first interview since that incident, since the heart attack, this Monday on Raw. I'm looking extremely forward to hearing from the true king of professional wrestling, Jerry the King Lawler. So on behalf of the Nitro Corner, we're glad that Jerry the King Lawler is in good health, and we hope to see him back again behind the desk on Monday Night Raw. Now, next up, I want to talk about Tammy Sytch, formerly known as Sunny. As many of you know, a couple weeks ago, Tammy Sytch got into some legal trouble. She's had her bouts with alcohol abuse and drug abuse, as well as been in rehab. As a matter of fact, our video did a shoot interview 24 hours before Tammy Sytch was taken to rehab, paid for by the WWE. Well, Tammy Sytch got into trouble, and I'm quoting the Wrestle Chat website for this via TMZ.com was the first to report it. Let's see, she was arrested 3 times in 3 days, each arrest for crimes related to domestic violence. At first I read this and was like, this is unreal. Now hear me out on this. She was first arrested on September 11 at 8:55 in an incident involving a man who was living in the house where the altercation took place. She was released the next day on a $500 bond and enjoyed several hours of freedom. This is me quoting the article. Before arrest number 2 happened at 4:49 p.m. when the former wrestler was popped for disorderly conduct and strangulation for an incident involving the same man. She was also charged with violating a restraining order that was put on behalf of the gentleman. Then Tammy was released the next day, September 13th, on a $25,000 bond and enjoyed several hours of freedom before arrest number 3 happened at 8 p.m. when she was popped again for violating the restraining order. We told you the incident involved the same man. And then the very next day, September 14th, she was released on $2,500 bond. Well, since then, she had her appearance in court, and she is back in rehab from what I understand. What I wanted to get out of this is all these comments, both positive and negative, that I've been reading on Facebook about it. Like, the negative part was Tammy Sytch deserved what she got. She was mean to her fans. She was she was drunk at several shows. She was drug induced at several shows. And I can understand maybe her state of mind, but you don't really have to go there, to be quite honest. I'd rather be more on the positive side of things and say, hey, people may fall down, but they get right back. But when they get back up and admit that they have a problem, and obviously I think she may have finally admitted that she does have a serious problem with not just the shoot where she first admitted the problem, I think publicly to the everyone in the wrestling world, but as of now, I think she truly has it synced in that, hey, I need help, and hopefully this stint in rehab will be the wake-up call she needs, because she's going to be facing a long, hard road to get flight back to some semblance of normalcy as far as I'm concerned. So we're hoping, we're pulling for the best for Tammy Sytch. I'm not going down that negative route with her. As far as I'm concerned, I'm going to keep it positive. I'm going to keep it straightforward, and hopefully this stint in rehab will be helpful to Tammy Sytch, aka the woman formerly known as Sunny in the WWE. Now that that's out of the way, let's talk about CM Punk. Let's talk about some comments he made in Montreal 2 weeks ago in Bret Hart's face. Now let me get this straight, CM Punk. You stated that if CM Punk was wrestling Bret Hart on the night of the Montreal Screwjob, not only would you screw Bret over, but you would go to WCW. Now, I'm thinking as a booker, can you imagine CM Punk coming to Monday Night Nitro? CM Punk, the CM Punk you see today, I don't know whether he would fit into WCW or not. I don't know why he would make a comment like that, but imagine if you would CM Punk as you see him today in the WCW. Tony Schiavone, of course, overhyping CM Punk. Oh my goodness, it's CM Punk! Oh my goodness! And there's Heenan going, oh my boy, the rafters are shaking for CM Punk. Oh my God! And CM Punk comes to the ring, in the Nitro ring, sits right in the middle of the logo of WCW Monday Nitro and decides to drop a pipe bomb on people, saying, that's right, last night I screwed Bret Hart out of the WWE Championship, as you can see right here, and he would bring the WWE Championship to WCW Monday Nitro. Excuse me for a second. Anyway, he would sit down with that championship belt and say this: yes, I screwed Bret Hart out of the WWE Championship. Why? Because it's all about respect. I earned my respect by beating your hero, Bret Hart. And then, Vince, I took your belt and I got it right here in a WCW ring. Now, sitting next to me is an ordinary trash can, and it kind of smells, especially from you people here in the audience. Anyway, here is the WCW title, most prestigious title. Not to me, clunk, right in the trash can where it belongs, because I deserve the respect that I deserve, and I didn't get that in the WWE, especially from a Canadian like Bret Hart. Now you see how much it did not make sense? In my mind, that's what would be said, but it wouldn't make sense though, because I don't know whether CM Punk of today could make it in WCW. Here's a guy that is the anti-establishment of professional wrestling. How he would fit in the establishment, excuse me, system of WCW. My mind, it wouldn't work out. So CM Punk, I'm sorry, that would never happen. I don't know why you would bring up something like that when you know it wouldn't make sense. All you're trying to do is incite Bret Hart, who knocked you on your can at the end of the show. So CM Punk would not work in WCW. You might want to rethink that, Mr. Punk. Okay, let me talk about now some of the new topics I wanted to bring up. Still going with CM Punk, let's talk about his controversial matches with John Cena over the past week. First, at Night of Champions, it was a double pin after a German suplex off the second rope. Now, Cena's shoulder blades were down, as well as CM Punk's shoulders. Only the blades have to be down for the referee to start counting. That's what happens, folks. That's in the rule book of professional wrestling. Both men were pinned. But at the end of the night, the announcer announced that because of the double pin, it is a draw. CM Punk remains WWE Champion. But did he get the respect that he deserved? Probably not, because he drew dead even with John Cena that very night. Well, moving on to the next night on Raw, it was John Cena and Sheamus versus CM Punk and Alberto Del Rio. Cena gets Punk in the attitude adjustment, and CM Punk's near the ropes. The referee gets into position. 1, 2, Punk puts his foot on the rope, but the referee counts 3. Now, yes, it was a bad call. The referee did not see it, but nonetheless, the referee's decision is final. CM Punk's going to have to get it in his head. The referee's decision is final. Therefore, not today for CM Punk to gain any type of respect as the WWE Champion. Of course, he has to yell at the referee, "I want to know your name! I want to know your name so I can file a complaint against your ass. That's right, you screwed me! My foot's on the rope! My foot's on the rope! What's your name? God, he sounds like someone drinking too much Kool-Aid with more sugar than he needed. My God, was he PO'd about it. Anyway, AJ, the Raw General Manager, AJ Lee, tried to break that up. Okay, CM Punk. Okay, you gotta cool down, man. Oh, now you're gonna get involved. This is a conspiracy. This is a conspiracy against me. The referee screwed with me. You're screwing with me. You know my foot's on the rope. Excuse me there for a second. You know my foot's on the rope. This is bull crap. I deserve respect. This is a conspiracy. Of course, AJ just standing there dumbfounded. Okay. Relax. You need to go to the dressing room. Relax. You should have stood up there and said, hey. Ref's decision's final. Live with it. Of course, CM Punk would probably go like that. That's bull crap. I'll kick your ass. I'm the WWE Champion. I deserve respect. And then there's Paul Heyman with a snipe report. Mr. Punk's foot on the rope. My client's foot was on the rope. As if we did not know that already. Bottom line is, not a good day nor a good week for CM Punk to get any respect whatsoever. But we haven't heard the last of CM Punk, John Cena, and Paul Heyman, and Raw General Manager AJ Lee in the very near future. We'll keep you abreast of that ongoings between those four. Alright, real quickly, let's get into some 1CW news. About 2 weeks ago, it was announced by Sean Hardy that 1CW will present its first card in 2013. That means 1CW is officially done for this year in 2012. And in a couple weeks' time, I will be doing my 1CW year in review. But the first card for 1CW, the 10th year anniversary, will happen on Saturday, February 9, 2013. More details as it comes. But already the first wrestler to sign aboard for the 10th anniversary show is the 1CW Cruiserweight Champion, the Crazy One, Crazy Shay, the first one to sign aboard for 1CW's 10-year anniversary show. So we'll have more details on that, and I'll have my 1CW year in review in just a couple weeks here on the Nitro Corner. Alright, let's talk about the Bro Kick. Of course, Booker T banned the Bro Kick about 2 weeks ago because, of course, Alberto Del Rio thought it was a dangerous move. It's dangerous. People are getting hurt. That's right, they're getting hurt. But it was all for naught because Sheamus countered with the Texas Cloverleaf, showing you the versatility of the champion. But at SummerSlam, Booker T had a change of heart, saying, no, the Bro Kick is back in session. The Bro Kick is back legal, so Sheamus can use it. Well, using the Bro Kick, Sheamus retained the WWE Championship. So Alberto Del Rio now wants to try to ban moves. The only move that was banned, the pile driver. And that was a long time ago in Memphis, Tennessee. So another failed effort by Alberto Del Rio. Will he get his rematch? Who knows? Maybe it's time to move on to better challengers for the championship. Oh, by the way, on a side note before we continue, Booker T's new biography is coming out in a couple weeks. I'll talk more about that as it becomes available to me. But if you want to take a look at it, there's an ad inside the new edition of Pro Wrestling Illustrated. I'll talk more about that. It'll be a spoiler alert near the end of the show. Now, let's talk about TNA for a minute. The Aces and the Eights versus TNA Establishment. It's not working, people. It's not working. Trust me on this. It is not working. Think about it. Every week you got the Aces and Eights on the screen saying, Hulk Hogan, we got a checkmate on you, Hulk Hogan. We're gonna destroy TNA. Can you say NWO here, boys and girls? And there's Hulk Hogan. Brother, I'm gonna get you in Aces and Eights. You're gonna be mine. You threatened Brooke Hogan. You try to injure me. Excuse me once again. Try to threaten me, brother. It doesn't work, dude. And as you can see, it doesn't work. I mean, is there really a purpose behind the Aces and Eights versus TNA Brass? Can you say NWO versus WCW? Enough said on that. Excuse me again. Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of the Nitro Corner. I always drink it, enjoy it, because Coca-Cola is it, and Pepsi, you might be the choice of the next generation, but you ain't the choice of my generation, that's for sure. Okay, let's move on to the women's division here. The women's division kind of got a shake-up this week as Tara turned her back on Miss Tessmacher. Why? Because Tara's jealous of Miss Tessmacher. Tara's Hollywood boyfriend, I don't know who he is, but needed to remind Tara who's the best wrestler in TNA. It's Tara! So Tara takes it out on her former best friend who beat her clean at the No Surrender pay-per-view. You can expect that situation to really heat up over the next couple weeks between those two for the Knockouts Championship. Excuse me. Also want to send a quick shout out to my home. I want to send a quick shout out to my favorites, of course, Velvet Sky, Angelina Love. Last time I heard something from them, they're in Bermuda doing a wrestling show in Bermuda. Girls, have yourselves a great time. We'll be glad to see you back either in TNA or the WWE in the very near future. Keep on keeping on. That's what I like to say. The WWE now for the women's division. It seems like now Beth Phoenix is about ready to lead the WWE, and I don't blame her. And rumor has it that she may be retiring. Well, there goes the credibility that the women's division has in the WWE. That's gone. Now you got what? Layla. Okay, she's improving her skills, but she needs to move it a little bit faster here if she's going to establish some credibility in the women's division. Of course, you got the goddess, Eve Torres, the new Divas champion. Congratulations, Eve. You're certainly moving up in the corporate world, ain't you? For the goddess, Eve Torres. And wasn't it you that injured Caitlyn, even though you deny it, and you're offended by that? We all know who injured Caitlyn. Torn ligaments in the ankle. She'll be out for a few weeks. And of course, Eve Torres wants to wish her the speedy recovery and best wishes for her. That's a lie. You know you did it. That's why? Because you're the goddess. The goddess. As if anyone really cared. Really? Excuse me there. As if anybody really cared about what your excuse is. You know you did it. You attacked Caitlyn to get at Layla and the championship, and you got it. So hopefully revenge is a dish best served cold, and it will be delivered to you either by Layla or Caitlyn. You better watch your back and bring back some credibility too. You're just losing. You just lost Beth Phoenix. Okay, one more note before we wrap up the show. As I mentioned, Pro Wrestling Illustrated just released its newest magazine. I just saw it this past week. The #1, and it's their PWI 500 issue. The #1 wrestler for this year's PWI 500 is the man we discussed earlier in the show, CM Punk. So on behalf of the Nitro Corner, congratulations to CM Punk for being named the #1 wrestler in the PWI 500. Now we're about ready to. That's all I got to say about the world of professional wrestling. On a note, next week, this coming weekend, there will be no Nitro Corner because I will be at Dover Downs International Speedway to take part in a very special opening ceremony this week. I'd like to thank Dover Downs International Speedway for extending the invitation to myself. I will be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of race weekend. So if you have a chance to see me, stop by. We'll talk about the show. I'll try to answer any of your questions. And I'll be taking pictures of the race, and it'll be on my Facebook page, facebook.com/Paul Skivers. So there'll be no show this coming weekend. I'll be back in 2 weeks for another edition of the Nitro Corner. Again, I apologize for last week's missing of the Nitro Corner because of these allergies. I'm getting over them now. And that is it for this edition of the Nitro Corner. Until next week, until 2 weeks from now, I'm Paul the Nitro Skivers saying, so long everybody.